Hey guys, welcome to Jaxbeautifulyou. In today's video, we're going to be talking about Valentine's Day perfumes. It is almost Valentine's Day. The day is almost upon us, and I'm going to be going out with my husband on a date, and I want to smell sexy. So these are some sexy fragrances in my collection that I have to share with you today. I have a lot more in my collection than just these, but these are 10 that I have my eye on. These are in the running. These are contenders for Valentine's Day. If you're new here, hi, my name is Jackie. Thank you so much for being here today. I really appreciate you clicking on my thumbnail. And to all of my returning subscribers, thank you guys so much for all of your continued support. I really, truly appreciate all of you. If you're interested in seeing the 10 sexy perfumes that I may be wearing, one of these I will be wearing for Valentine's Day, then just keep on watching. Okay, so sexy perfumes, that is subjective, right? We all have kind of a different idea of what we think smells sexy. So I have a couple of different options here, and it depends on what kind of sexy. There's naughty sexy, there's playful sexy, there's flirty sexy, there's sexy for people who are single, there's sexy for people who are already involved. You know what I mean? Like there's a wide variety of sexiness. So I do have some options here for everyone. The first one I've been talking about a lot on my channel. I rediscovered this fragrance. This is by Lancome, and this is Nuit Tresor. This is the original Eau De Parfum, and this one is one that I've had for a while, but I really didn't wear it a whole lot, and for some reason I like rediscovered it and fell in love with it. So it was a few months ago actually that I started really wearing this again, and I noticed I was getting a lot of compliments on this, and I was just absolutely loving it. It's very sexy. It is a dark but yet sweet and fruity fragrance, so I really like that combination. I really like the contrast. There's a ton of fruits in the opening of this, but the fruit that I get the most in this fragrance is strawberry. So there's this sweet, beautiful strawberry note in the opening, but as it starts to dry down, you start to pick up on those dark notes that are in the base. There's patchouli, there's licorice, there's all kinds of notes in here. There's a ton. But I love the contrast of sweet and sexy dark, you know? And it's just a really classy fragrance though. It never gets to the point where it's like super seductive. Like this isn't really femme fatale or anything like that, but it's got enough of a deep base that it gives me a sexy vibe. Again, it's a compliment getter. My husband really likes this one on me, and I've been telling you guys about this combination for a while now. I can't shut up about it, but I'm going to tell you about it again because it's that good. This is Bath & Body Works Strawberry Pound Cake, and if you mix these two together, just do it. Just do it and thank me later. I have gotten a lot of compliments with this duo. I actually had some compliments with this by itself, but when I put these two together, I seem to get massive compliments, and my husband really likes this combination. So the strawberry, like I said, is what I smell the most in this fragrance, so this really just amps that up. And it's so delicious, it's so feminine, it's so sexy, perfect Valentine's Day scent. I'm really thinking about wearing this for my Valentine's date. All right, let's talk about a playful sexy. Let's talk about a sexy, flirty sexy. You know, not like over the top, just very playful, not very serious, flirty kind of situation, which I get in the mood for that a lot. This is by Lancome, and this is Belle. This is the Intensement version. This is much easier to wear, I think, than the original. I do like the original. I don't own it because I don't love it, but I do think the original is like a man magnet. I think men really do enjoy the original Belle, but my husband does not. He doesn't like that one for some reason, but he really likes this one. This one has raspberry in it. It doesn't have a lot of patchouli in the base like the original does. This one's just a not serious. It's a good performing fragrance, but it's not super beast like the original. And it's very girly, just very fun, flirty. This is like the single and ready to mingle type of fragrance. This is for my girls that want to go out with their friends for Valentine's. Maybe you're single, maybe you don't have a date, you just want to have like a friend's night out. This would be perfect for a girl's night out for sure. It's just very flirty, it's very approachable, and sweet, and I just love this one. Good performance, like I said, but not beastly, so you're not gonna like choke anyone out. So if you did decide to wear this on a date, you're not gonna like choke your date out with this like maybe the original, but this one is just very feminine and sweet. If you like raspberry, I think you'd like this. There's raspberry in the opening of this and bergamot, so it's a little brighter in the opening. There's some iris in here. There's definitely some vanilla, and I definitely pick up a lot of the vanilla as well. So if you're into sweet raspberry vanilla kind of fragrances that smells very playful and fun and approachable, then give this one a shot. That is Lancome Belle Intensement. All right, so what if you want to smell edible on Valentine's Day? Maybe you are a gourmand lover, but sometimes gourmands, I don't know, they don't always equal sexy to me, but if there's some spice added in, that's when I start to feel that sexiness, you know what I mean? And I think for gourmand lovers, and this is also one I am really seriously considering, this is by IDOLO Love and Crime, plus the name fits pretty well for Valentine's Day, right? But this is a very gourmand fragrance, like foodie gourmand, but it has some spicy kick to it. So in the opening of this, you have pink pepper. There's also star anise in here, and I definitely pick up that like spiciness from that. A really beautiful spicy kick. And then it's really sweet. It has a lot of orange in it. So I love that contrast, that combination between spicy and sweet. I just think it's so sexy and seductive, and you smell edible. So this to me smells like a spicy orange sponge cake. Exactly like that. I don't know how they made this perfume smell like an actual sponge cake, but they did. It's so beautiful. One of my favorite gourmands in my collection. And I just think that you're gonna smell delicious and sexy and edible and irresistible. It is definitely inviting and definitely says come closer. You know what I mean? So that is by IDOLO Love and Crime. All right, maybe you don't wanna be overly sweet. Maybe you don't want to be playful, maybe you don't want any of that, okay? Maybe you want something that's more of like a femme fatale. Maybe you want something that's darker, uber sexy, boozy, and it makes a statement, that kind of a sexy, confident vibe. If you like boozy notes, I would recommend Kayali's Vanilla Royal Sugar Patchouli 64. This one is polarizing. I know not everybody likes this, but for those of us who do love this fragrance, this is such a sexy fragrance. I get the biggest blast of rum in this fragrance. I smell straight up rum in here. You have to like boozy fragrances. I guess there are some people saying they don't get the rum in here, which that is crazy to me because that is like the number one thing I smell right away. It's very sexy though. I absolutely love it. And I just think it smells so intoxicating. Right after the rum, when I spray this, I get a big, big blast of patchouli. To me, the patchouli smells very dark, very sexy, very warm, clean. The type of patchouli that gives a fragrance depth and seduction. And then there's vanilla in here as well. I do get something in here that's a little bit creamy. I'm guessing that's the creme brulee. I also pick up just a small amount of leather, which adds to the sexy, seductive darkness to this fragrance. Some people pick up oud in here, and I don't really. I do pick up a darkness. It could be like a combination of the patchouli and oud, but for me, when I think of oud, I think of like barnyard skanky oud. And that's not my favorite thing. I don't get anything like that in here. And I just think this is so sexy and intoxicating. That is definitely the word to use for this fragrance, intoxicating. And this has really good performance. And I just think if you want to be ultra sexy and seductive, this is such a great fragrance. So this is definitely in the running. It's a contender for Valentine's Day for me, for sure. Okay, what would this list be if I didn't have a rose fragrance? I feel like part of me is gonna want more of like a romantic date, you know, like a romantic feminine date night where I smell like roses and Valentine's Day. And every single time I think of Valentine's Day, I think of Carolina Herrera, Very Good Girl. The bottle says Valentine's Day, this red. I like the bottles of these, by the way. And this is my favorite Good Girl flanker for sure. I love this one, but you have to be into lychee and you have to be into rose. So if you don't like lychee, if you don't like that like tartness in your fragrances, you aren't really gonna like this. This has a little bit of a tartness in the opening. Some people describe it as sour. I don't find it to be sour. To me, it's just like a little bit of a zing, you know? It's a little bit of a pep, a little bit of a tartness, you know? I do enjoy tart things though. So you have to enjoy lychee, and you definitely have to enjoy rose because there's a lot of rose in here. There's also a lot of vanilla, and there's some vetiver, I believe, in the base. This is a creamy vanilla, rose centric, and lychee fragrance. I really enjoy this one a lot. It has really good performance on me, and anytime I just want to feel like my most feminine self, anytime I want to feel romantic and know that I just smell very womanly, this is a fragrance I definitely am drawn to. Yeah, I just think this would be great for those like romantic dinners. If you're going to go out to a restaurant with like candlelit dinner where the lights are down low and it's kind of a quieter atmosphere, this is a great option. Some people compare this to Delina or Delina Exclusive, which I get the comparison. It's definitely in the same vibe as those fragrances. I wouldn't say this is a dupe. This one definitely is in that vibe. It's definitely in the family of the Delinas, but not a dupe in my opinion. This does stand on its own in my opinion, and I think it's just beautiful. So if you like lychee and rose, if you like vanilla, if you want to smell feminine for Valentine's Day and romantic, then I would say go with Carolina Herrera, Very Good Girl. Okay, maybe you do not want to smell feminine and sweet and romantic. Maybe it's not going to be that kind of a date. Maybe for Valentine's Day, it's going to be a hot, sexy date. Maybe you want to smell like a sex bomb. So if that's the case, then I do have to recommend these two because these are the sexiest perfumes in my collection. Honestly, I feel like this is sex in a bottle. So this is by Jean Paul Gaultier, and this is Scandal. I think I talk about this in every sexy video that I ever do. I have to. It literally is the sexiest perfume. It is naughty sexy. It is definitely very come get me, seductive type of fragrance, but this is not for everyone. This is loud, this is strong, this is bold. It has a lot of honey. It is like dripping honey, honey bomb. So if you don't like honey in your perfumes, you're not gonna like this at all. Plus there's patchouli and licorice in the base. So there's a darker base in this fragrance. It's very sweet. So you have to be into like all these things in order to enjoy this. You have to like sweet fragrances, you have to like patchouli and licorice, you have to like very loud fragrances and super sexy fragrances in order to enjoy this. But when I'm in the mood for this, I absolutely love it. So personally, I'm a big fan of the original EDP, but also I'm thinking about wearing Scandal by Night. This one has cherry in it, and I do not believe this has patchouli and licorice in the base. The base isn't as dark. There is a lot of honey still in here, but it's toned down by the cherry. So this is a lot easier, I think, for some people to wear because it's not quite so like, oh my gosh, honey bomb, but it is still incredibly sexy. Like, yeah, your partner is going to be very drawn to you if you wear this. You are going to smell very sweet and very sexy. So great performance on both of these. I would say this one is a beast. The original is an absolute fill the room beast. This one's not quite as loud, but it's still a really good performing fragrance. So if you like the idea of added cherry, go with this one, but both of these are super sexy options for Valentine's Day if that's the kind of date that you're going for. And then the other one by Jean Paul Gaultier, of course, that is an option because it's sexy, is La Belle. But this isn't quite as like sex bomb, like sex kitten as Scandal is. This is more on the feminine side. Like I would wear this to a classier type of situation. If you're going out to a fancy restaurant or something like that, I would still feel comfortable wearing this. It's not like over the top sexy. It's sexy, it's sweet, it's feminine, it's juicy, delicious, like cooking pear. I almost kind of get a boozy vibe out of this, but it's just delicious. It smells so good. I feel like this is kind of a man magnet too. I feel like men really kind of go berserk over this fragrance and really enjoy it. I've gotten compliments by men on this fragrance in the past, and I think it smells incredible. There's a bit of leather or suede in here, and I really don't pick that up, but I know some people do. So not everybody loves this perfume. This is definitely not safe. There are some notes in here that I think some people pick up. Like I've heard some people say they really pick up the vetiver in the base of this. I just don't. All I really get from this is this cooking boozy pear with a lot of vanilla, and it smells very sweet, very feminine, just beautiful man magnet, gorgeous fragrance. So this is definitely one that makes me feel beautiful and sexy at the same time. And I think that I might be considering this one for Valentine's Day as well. I really don't know which one I'm going to go with, you guys. I'm really having a hard time here. They're all, I guess it just depends, you know, it depends on what we do. I don't know what we're doing for Valentine's Day this year. So I guess it just depends, but yeah, this is a good option in my opinion. Another man magnet. We have to go with a classic here. Okay, maybe you just want to smell good. You just want to smell pretty. You want to smell feminine. You're going out on a date with someone and you want the ultimate man-eater perfume. Then of course you just need to go with your classic Flowerbomb. I mean, this is a great option for Valentine's Day in my opinion because it's very feminine. It's very sweet. You know, guys seem to really like the sweet floral and a little bit of a sexy dark base. You know, it seems like that's kind of like the vibe guys really like to smell. This is it, you know? This is it. This is like crack for men. I just think it smells incredible. I think this has really good performance. And if you want to smell really sweet, this is a sugary kind of fragrance. I get like a sugary sweetness. A lot of florals, but not overly floral. Like mostly I get like a sweetness more than I get like floral, but I can pick the florals up if that makes sense. And then the base is what I really love because it has that gorgeous patchouli that I personally adore. And the thing that makes this sexy is the patchouli. So if you don't like patchouli, I don't know that you're going to like this. If you don't like sweet fragrances, this might not be for you. This is one of my mom's favorite fragrances. She just discovered this not too long ago and she loved it. I sent her a bunch of samples and she was trying to find like her signature scent and Flowerbomb was her favorite. So I bought her a bottle, I believe, for Mother's Day and she wears Flowerbomb like every day. She absolutely loves this fragrance. So I think it's incredible as well and a really, really great option. Okay, I had to throw another rose fragrance in the mix, but I wanted like a jammy rose. So Carolina Herrera's Very Good Girl is more like a sweet, creamy vanilla rose with some lychee. I wanted like a darker type of fragrance with some rose in it. So I thought, you know what would be good? Would be Ristretto Intense Cafe by Montale. This is sexy, this is loud, this is a beast fragrance, and this will cut through the cold. This is a fragrance that I don't always think of as sexy until I put it on. Because in my mind, coffee scents aren't super like sexy to me. I don't think of coffee as sexy. But I really love the contrast between the dark roast coffee and that sweet, sweet jammy rose. This is a very ambery, sweet, coffee, rosy scent. It has some caramel in the base, so it's really, really sweet, but the coffee does help to darken it up and it takes that sweetness level down and helps to round the fragrance out. It's very mysterious smelling. And you know what? You're not going to smell like anyone else because this isn't, I mean, in the fragrance community, I think we all know about this fragrance, but if you just go out, you know, in your normal day, I don't smell this on anyone. It's not like I walk around and I can smell Ristretto Intense Cafe. You know, when you go out for Valentine's Day and you go out to dinner, you might smell Flowerbomb, okay? You're probably going to smell Flowerbomb, but you're not going to smell this. So if you want something different and you want something that is going to be unforgettable and irresistible and sexy and loud and sweet with some darkness, this is just a mysterious type of fragrance to me. So I really love this one and definitely am thinking about wearing this one for Valentine's Day. I get so in the mood for this one when the weather gets colder. I don't know why, I just like crave this DNA. I think it's so good. All right, and last but certainly not least, maybe you don't like any of these feminine offerings. Maybe you're not into feminine girly scents. Maybe you want a unisex fragrance that's super duper sexy. If that is you, then I would suggest buy Attar Collection Khaltat Night. This is sexy on anyone. Man, woman, doesn't matter. This is uber sexy. I would love to smell this on a man. I like to smell this on myself. It is so good. So you have to be into cinnamon though in order to enjoy this fragrance. This is a cinnamon bomb in the opening. Huge, huge blast of cinnamon, which personally I love. Like, take the amount of cinnamon that normal people like and then add like double that, and that's me. And then you get a lot of cherry. This is a delicious cherry So good. Spicy cherry fragrance. It does have apple in here as well, which I do pick up on, but I get more cherry than apple. There's a lot of vanilla in here, and there's also patchouli and musk in the base. This has a deep, sexy, dark, Middle Eastern kind of base to my nose, and it's a semi-gourmand. It's not a full-on foodie gourmand, even though it does have that apple, cherry, cinnamon vibe, because the base just like keeps it from being full on gourmand. It's a darker base. So if you like mysterious, sexy, seductive, unisex fragrances that you and your partner can wear, then this is definitely it. This is a very loud fragrance. It definitely cuts through the cold. It definitely projects. I've never heard anyone say that they've had an issue with the performance of this. This is a beast. Yeah, this is definitely a contender for me. I really might wear this one. I've been saying that about all of them, but every time I smell it, I'm like, ooh, this one, no, this one, no, this one. But this is definitely one I am thinking about wearing. So that is by Attar Collection, Khaltat Night. All right, you guys, and that is it for today's video. Those are my choices for Valentine's Day. I want to hear from you guys. I want to know what you guys are thinking about wearing for the day. And what are you doing? Are you going out with friends? Are you staying home? Are you just going to practice self-care? Are you going on a date with your significant other? What are you doing? Let me know, and let me know what you're wearing. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video and found it helpful, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.